Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly and thanks for tuning in. We're going to go through a reformer workout specifically for low back care. So if you are experiencing low back discomfort or you're here to strengthen your back, this is going to be the workout for you. So begin with 2 red springs and 1 blue spring, or 2.5 springs, and then go ahead and lie on your back. Before we get into our footwork, let's keep our hands on the pegs and just slowly move our low backs into some pelvic tilts here. We're going to imprint the spine to flatten it against the mat and then create an arch as you rock your hips forward. Just gently do that a few times back and forth just to stretch out the low back. Get some self-awareness and engagement in the core. Breathing at your own comfortable pace as you quiet your mind. Hug those knees into the chest. Really stretch out through the spine, lengthen it out. And then let's go ahead and organize the heels on top of the foot bar. We're going to be parallel, flexed, press on out, and then slowly return back in again. You'll notice here that the weight is going to feel a lot lighter than your typical footwork, and this is on purpose. The objective is not to necessarily feel the work in your legs. We want the work to be initiated by the abdominal muscles. When we talk about low back care, it's really about understanding that your abs and your deep back muscles play a huge part in strengthening the back here. Nice and easy, using your same breath as you would in footwork. We'll shift down to your toes, staying parallel. Heels are lifted. Exhale to press out. Inhale to pull back in. Start to take inventory of your body here. Are your shoulders relaxed? Your arms lengthening out, palms are flat. And that you're really scooping your belly down and in. Again, this work is being initiated with the abs. Beautiful. Heels are nice and high, and you're pressing evenly through the ball of the feet. We'll take it to high heels. We're going to circle those knees away from each other and then draw them back in. So you're mobilizing at the hip joints here. Try to think of your tailbone staying grounded and your pelvis, your hips, nice and stable. 5 one direction and then reverse 5 the opposite way. You're just pivoting at your heel here onto the foot bar. So it's best if you are actually barefoot. It might be harder with grip socks, or if you are wearing regular socks here too. We'll move down to your toes, same idea. So we're going to circle those knees away from each other and then draw them back in like magnets. Just really feel the work here developing from the hips. 5 one way and then 5 the opposite way. Taking it at your own comfortable pace and relaxing your jaw, softening your breath as you go through this flow. From here, we're going to go into prehensile. So the toes are going to be on the foot bar. We're about fist distance apart. When the heels drop under, we're going to do the very best we can to keep those heels under as you bend your knees back in. You're going to feel a very deep stretch through your calves. And it's going to be normal to feel like you can't keep your heels under the foot bar, but just doing the best that you can. So what we're trying to accomplish is really stretching through those calves. Anytime we have really tight calves, that also will affect our low back. So we want to really open up, starting from the feet on up. Nice. Dragging the carriage all the way in. And we're doing about 8 of these. Try to keep your hips balanced and equal weighted on both sides. Exhale, dragging it back in. Good job. These aren't very easy, so again, take your time with them. Do the best to do the right number of repetitions for your body. Shifting into single leg footwork, the right heel's on the foot bar, left leg in tabletop. Pressing out where this weight is going to feel a little bit more familiar to you if you are doing single leg footwork. You can always minimize the springs down to maybe 2 reds and a yellow spring, or 1 red and 1 green spring. Your left leg is a very active tabletop leg, even though it's not doing anything, but it is maintaining that same position as you push through the right heel. Beautiful. Switching sides when you're ready. Exhale, press out. Inhale to drag in. Exhale to press out, and inhale to drag in. Really starting to feel those abs working here, doing the very best to tune in. Beautiful. Just trying to maintain that self-discipline through your mind and your body. Good job. We're going to bring it back in and shift it to your toes and repeat the same thing. So left leg is in tabletop, pressing evenly through the right ball of your foot. Notice that I'm pointing out through my left foot and I'm keeping my right heel up nice and high. Our goal is to really strengthen through those ankles as we equally distribute the weight into all of our toes. Again, take a moment to take inventory of your hips here. Do they feel balanced? Do they feel off balanced? And keep those arms stretching long. And we're going to bring it back in and switch to the other side. Exhale, press on out, inhale to return. Think of relaxing your facial muscles, soften through the jaw, and keep those shoulders down and away from those ears to create space. Keeping your heel lifted on that left side and pointing the energy out through the right toes. Nice. Good, slowly returning it back in again. And from here, headrest is going to go down as we transition into bridging. I'm going to keep my heels on top of the foot bar. This is going to be for the easiest transition into bridging. The hardest will be on your toes. Doing the best you can to bridge those hips up to a nice high elevated position, and then breathe as you articulate the spine to stretch and lengthen it out. Just think of your tailbone reaching out from underneath you. Press equally into those heels, return up, squeezing through those glutes, and then slowly allowing the spine to fall back down. Focus on opposition as the energy reaches out from the knees and from the top of your head. From here, we're going to transition into Typewriter. Think of your ribs moving laterally left to right here and slowly lowering down. We're going to do 3 positions. And just notice carefully that my ribs are shifting from left to right and then lower back down. You may notice not one shift at all. It may be tight depending on your body. We're going to do that again. We're going to bridge ourselves up. Again, 3 levels of positions here. Shifting the ribs from left to right, a couple each way. Then lower your sternum down a little bit more and continue left to right. Soften it down one more time, left to right, keeping your glutes activated. And then lower the body all the way into the mat. Good job. Those will get easier as you get more comfortable with the exercise. Bridge yourself up again and pause. Right ankle over the left knee, hold. Dip the right hip down like you're pouring a cup of tea. Slowly squeezing through that left glute, staying super strong in the hip here. And then hold at the top. Carefully place the heel back to the foot bar. Let's do the other side. Dip the left hip down and return through center. Again, dip it down and return through center one more time. And then foot goes back to the foot bar, and let's lower the spine back out into mat. Now, if this was foreign to you, it was just really about acknowledging the steps here. Let's try this again and really focus on what you're feeling here. As you dip the right hip, think of squeezing the glutes. Are you stretching your ribs? Does it feel tight? Does it feel restricted? Does it feel looser the second time around? Left ankle over the right knee, dipping it down, returning up. The whole purpose of this exercise is that it's strengthening your hip from a single point, from a unilateral perspective here. So when we're talking about low back here, we're thinking about, again, the abs, the low back, and the hips. Prance it out, walk it out, do a little running here, and stretch out those glutes and hamstrings. Nicely done here, guys. Just give it one more stretch, and then return that carriage all the way back in. Nice. All right, so we're going to move it down to one red spring or just one spring. And you can place your headrest back up to a halfway position if that feels good for you. Lying yourself right back down onto your mat. We're going to take a moment here to really get deeper into those ab stabilizing muscles. So place the tops of your feet under the foot bar. And then notice the carriage just slowly pressing on out as you apply pressure from the tops of your feet. Now, I don't want you to go out all the way. Honestly, just about maybe 15 to 25% max, because the work is going to be on the way in. It's going to be easy to push yourself out there. It's going to be more difficult and challenging to drag the body back in. Do about 5. Let's take a breather. Windshield wipe those legs if you need to. Again, this is a very challenging exercise if you are doing it correctly. Let's try it for a second round. So the tops of the feet are on underneath the foot bar. You're going to slowly inhale to press out. Exhale to drag back in. Inhale to press out. Exhale, drag back in. Think of imprinting your low back the entire time. We're doing about 5 each round here. Do what feels right for your body. This does get easier, and you may notice the second time around, you possibly went out a little further. Nice. And then let's go ahead, and we're going to go right into 100 prep. Arms are going to go up, hands in the handles. Legs are going to remain in tabletop. You're curling yourself up, and then you're lowering back down. So a very fundamental exercise. The difference is that we've already really acknowledged and heated up the core. So you should really connect deeper into this exercise here. Exhale, curl up, and inhale to lower down. Let's aim for 10 repetitions here, nice and slow. Again, thinking of the energy reaching out from your fingers. Chin to chest, eyesight towards your belly button to avoid any neck tension. Exhale, curls up. Inhale, right back down. Good, and take a breather. right into coordination. So we're going to start in our dead bug position. Curl your head and chest up as you straighten your arms and leg at the same time. Open and close the legs and then return everything back in again. So nice and slow. Work from the back of the arms. Open and close the legs. And be a little bit more dramatic about it. Really feel the work of the legs opening, and then as they close, you can feel those inner thighs working. The goal is 8. Do anywhere what feels comfortable for you. That could be 4, or you could find yourself anywhere in between 8. And rest it down. Very nice. Let's hang those handles back up on our peg. We're going to bring ourselves back up. And we're going to stay on the same spring tension, but we're going to put the foot bar down all the way flat. And you're going to be on your hands and knees here. So the feet are supported by the shoulder blocks, and then the hands are going on the rail here. Shoulders over the wrists. Begin to slowly push that carriage out from underneath you, and then as you drag it back in, really scooping the belly. So use your exhalation here to pull the carriage in slow motion. Again, Pilates is about control, and we want to do this very, very purposely so that we can feel our abs working and not letting our back take over. Our goal is 6. Nice and slow. Exhale, pull that carriage in. Nice. And then we're going to transition here to pushing the upper body away. So the hips stay as is, drop your chest towards the well, and pull your body back in. So taking your time here. Again, if this is a very new exercise to you, think of pulling that belly up and in towards the spine and trying to keep those hips directly over the knees. Press out, chest drops. Beautiful job here, guys. And then we're going to combine everything in our last variation with this exercise. So slowly, you're going to push out with your legs, then with your upper body. Drag the upper body forward, then the legs. Press out with the legs, push with the upper body, pull in with the upper body, finish with the legs. Again, push out with the legs, press away with the upper body, pull in, and the hips come in. Now let's reverse it. So now the upper body goes out, then the lower body. Be mindful, pull in with the lower body, drag the upper body. So with this exercise, it's so important to be aware that the hips are not dropping so low that you're feeling your spine, that you're feeling your low back kick in. Because again, we should be completely aware of our abs doing the work for us. And finish it off here. Very good, guys. That's not an easy exercise, so that will get easier as you get more acquainted with it. We're shifting into scooter, so I'm keeping the red spring, foot bar went up, and then I'm lining both my knees together. From this position, maintain a flat back and pushing out with your left leg. So the inhale is out and the exhalation is pulling that carriage back in. So you should feel really strong through your abs. And let's aim for 10 repetitions here on this side. Super stable through the upper body. And you should feel your glutes working, feeling a nice strong shift through those abs into the whole back side of the leg here. Take it to the other side. Right foot is supported by the shoulder block. Knees are in line with each other. Shift your hips back like you're going to sit into a chair. And inhale, pressing out. Exhale to pull in. Good. Again, the hardest part about this exercise is keeping your weight back. So again, sit down a little lower. Feel those glutes working and those shoulders staying relaxed away from your ears. Nice. Beautiful. Keep it to tempo and return. From here, we're going to go into chest expansion. So I'm keeping the handles on, but I'm going to shift my body back and wrap my feet around the edge of the carriage. In a kneeling position, we're going to exhale, press those arms back, hold. Now look to the left, center, right, center, releasing those arms. Let's repeat. Pull back with the arms, look to the left, center, right, center, and release. One more time like that. Keep those hips forward, and if you're getting any low back discomfort here, tuck that tailbone under and squeeze those glutes. Now let's repeat, but we're looking to the right first, center, left. 2 more times. Exhale, pressing back, right, center, left, center, release, and 1 more time. Beautiful. Keep that breath flowing and then carefully releasing everything. Just take it into a normal chest expansion. 4 more like this, pressing from below the armpits, really working through the entire backside of your torso. Good. Nice strong balance here. And then let's choke up on top of those ropes above the metal buckle. And we're going to go into a thigh stretch. So from the knee, you're hinging yourself back here. And slowly use your quads and your abs to pull up. So this is a lot of the front of the body here, working its magic to balance. Good. Hinging back as one long line, or think of a board here. Good. Pulling back and slowly returning forward. Nice. Finishing it up here, shoulders relaxed. 1 more time. And then let's carefully hang those handles back up onto the pegs. I'm going to go ahead and shift myself down to 1 blue spring, which is a half spring. And then we're staying on our knees for reverse knee stretch. So my hands are slightly above my shoulders, and then go ahead and pull your shoulders over your wrists and pause. Very slowly, you're pulling your knees in towards your chest, but you're never getting your knees past your arms. So it's a very slow, deliberate movement once again. Maybe tuck that tailbone under for a deeper scoop, and exhale to pull the knees in, inhale to release. Go ahead, take a child's pose if you need it. And then let's go ahead and challenge ourselves with some single leg work here. So reach that left leg out, slightly pull that right knee in for 4, exhale 3, 2, and 1. Nice. And release it. Good. Find your balance once again as you reach the energy from the right toes. Hips are squared. Pull for 4. Exhale for 3, 2, and 1. Nice. And take it back all the way. All right, guys. You're doing great. We're going to grab the box. We're going to set it up long ways. So vertical up against the shoulder blocks. Let's keep it on the same spring tension so we don't have to move anything except the foot bar. Let's bring that down all the way. You're on your stomach. Your chest is slightly off the box. And I'm going to wrap my hands around the ropes at least 1 time here, just to create extra tension since we are on that half spring. Exhale to pull those arms up, and I'm going to maintain a neutral position here. So if you'd like to add extension, feel free, but I'm going to stay in neutral today. Holding it up. Now lift the right leg, lower. Lift the left leg, lower. One more time each way, really extending from the hip, and then lower those arms. Good. Good. So again, exhale, pull those arms up. We're going to reach the leg on the third one here. So 3 pullbacks. And then the leg is going to lift on your very next one. So hold those arms all the way back. Good. Try not to bend at your knee, but you're lifting from the glute and hamstring and releasing everything. Nice. Good. So hang those up, and then let's go in for a nice traction stretch here. So walking your hands towards the risers. And my hands are on the metal risers, so if you have the wood risers, just grab a hold of those and just let your body sink here. Just feeling a nice deep stretch through the spine, and just breathe into it. Carefully walking yourself right back to the stopper, and then we're going to step off to the side. Good. So let's go in for a piriformis stretch, or a pigeon stretch. And just leaning forward. The importance of stretching out through the piriformis is that we're getting all of those tight muscles stretched out that tend to pull on our back or through our hips. So hold for as long as you'd like. Hinging yourself forward to deepen the stretch here. Nice. And then when you're done, carefully let's go ahead and come on off. And then let's set ourselves up for our last exercise in our workout today. 1 red, 1 blue, or 1.5 springs. And then we're going to finish it with our hip circles. So if you have handles on, go ahead and switch it into your loops. And you guys can lie yourself down when you're ready, placing those feet into the loops. 1 foot at a time. Adjust yourself here. Make sure you feel centered and squared. And then let's have a slight separation through those legs. Lower to 45. Let's go ahead. Heels together, toes apart. We're going to open nice and wide for a good opening, and then just squeeze those heels right back together. So inhale, take it open. Exhale to close. Good. Just 5 here. Just trying to stay on the same plane, not letting your legs lower or lift here. And then as you bring those legs up, circle them around. Good. 5 one way, 5 the opposite way. Now with your circles, feel free to go as wide as you'd like, as long as you are staying stable and secure on the mat here. If you feel like you've lost control of your circle, minimize the circle to be a bit smaller. Good. Deep breaths here. Press down and sweep it around. Again, equal weight into the loops here. Just really focus on that equal weight distribution. From here, we're going to have a separation through those legs into tabletop and then right back out to 45 degrees. So the knees will soften towards the chest and then straighten your legs out to the wall in front of you. Press. Good. Bring those legs up and right into tick-tock. Legs are together. Exhale, press down. Inhale, back up. Exhale to press down. And inhale, back up. Perfect. Let's finish it with a nice Peter Pan stretch. So pull on that right strap if that feels good for you, but do the best you can to keep your hips still balanced and grounded, and then switch when you're ready. And then we're going to bring those legs straight up towards the ceiling. Separate the legs here for a nice big saddle stretch, and then slowly, like a pendulum, just rocking your legs from left to right, right to left. And then bring those legs back together. And if you'd like to add in a Buddha stretch here, feel free to do that. Just taking a moment to cool down as you quiet your mind, quiet your breath. Slowly coming out of that when you're ready, 1 foot at a time, and then exiting off to the side here. Good, so we'll finish it with a couple roll downs. So hip distance apart. Sweep those arms up to the sky. Scoop the belly as you dive your fingertips towards your toes. Super slow, articulating the spine to re-stack up bone by bone. Head's the last thing to come up and shoulders roll back. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe and check out some of the other videos here. Thanks guys for watching.